everybody. Good morning or good afternoon. I don't know where you all are from. So I'm just gonna share my screen really quickly. Let me see it. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Perfect. So hi to everybody. Let me go here. Oh, okay. Good morning to everybody. I'm Eduarda Beserra. I'm from Break Free from Plastic Youth, and I'm really happy to share a little bit of our work as a movement and give you a little peek of my community's projects. So I'm a student that lives in the south of Brazil, more specifically in the coastal area of Santa Catarina, in the city of Florianópolis. And I'm surrounded by the sea and all kinds of natural beauties that you can think of, but also a lot of plastic. So the belief that everyone deserves and has a right to live in a clean environment with sustainable system and with climate safety is what drew me to activism. And so when I got into college, I started to have contact with a lot of environmental groups and started to learn more about many things sustainability wise. And the feeling for me was like I was seeing for the first time, because there are so many things that I have absolutely no clue how it works. And once I got a peek of it, I couldn't look away. And one of those things was the plastic crisis situation and the whole problem with the use of single-use plastics that I had no idea of, and how us youth are affected by it and will be affected by it, you know. So I started with individual changes in my life, such as to use a reusable cup to college and get my friends to take a reusable cup to college too. And then I started to get involved with campaigns to encourage other students to bring their own cup. And then I found a whole lot of world of people who also had the will to try to change our university's consumption habits. And that's how UFSC Plastic Free was born. So UFSC is the name of my college, Federal University of Santa Catarina. And I have been developing this project, Plastic Free University, with students, teachers, and the whole community aware of their consumption habits and responsibility in relation to the environment. So we do a range of actions to try to achieve those goals, like cleanups and burn audits in our college and in the city, to collect data and to better understand the situation and what are the kind of plastics that are ending up in the specific area. We do the expansion of our contacts network, strengthening ties with strategic partners, also the implementation of various types of actions with the academic community, the students' entities, and the cafeterias. So from the positive response from all those actions that we developed, we wrote a Plastic Free Universities manual, and we reached many colleges all over our country, and people likewise who wanted to create a university free from single-use plastic. And with this, we have the opportunity to meet other projects in other universities that also were doing plastic-free actions in the same way. And from that, the Plastic-Free Universities Network was born. REUNI, as we call it, is a network of educational institutions of Brazil. And our main objective is to be a network of support and exchange of experience between the various universities initiatives that work with things related to solid waste management and the reduction of single-use plastic, and really to help each other grow, you know. And from this projects, I was able to get to know and be a part of Break Free from Plastic, implementing brand audits, plastic-free campus ideas, the story of plastic screenings, and participating in the Break Free from Plastic Youth Ambassadors Program, which brought me closer to the movement and helped me grow a lot as an activist and made me a youth ambassador. So in this program, I had the pleasure of meeting the team behind Break Free from Plastic and sharing experience along with developing actions with my new colleagues from the Global South, as you can see on the screen. And we led and developed actions such as the youth-led brand audits for the annual report of the biggest polluters, A Mighty Ocean documentary, and the Break Free from Plastic Youth Summit, where we drafted the Break Free from Plastic Youth Manifesto. There, I'm going to finish my presentation by reading it to you because it kind of sums up what we as youth expect for the future of the fight against the plastic crisis. So I'm gonna finish with that, and this whole presentation, I think, is gonna make sense. You're gonna see our vision for the future, okay? So Break Free from Plastic Youth believes that reversing the plastic pollution crisis requires systemic change. In its many forms and phases, plastic pollution is one of the greatest environmental threats to the planet. Plastic packaging accounts for nearly half of all the plastic waste globally. Every stage of the plastic life cycle is toxic, not just to the environment and wildlife, but to human health and quality of life. Additionally, our current single-use throwaways in countries that have done the least to create this crisis, making them more vulnerable to the effects of the plastic and climate crisis. We, the largest generation of youth, are left with this debacle to fix after decades of neglect and abuse by the generations that have come before us. The plastic pollution crisis is one of the biggest challenges that our generation and society once face. Our future is at stake. Given the lack of concrete actions from the world leaders and how the power imbalance among nations and various sectors of society has adversely impacted our lives, we are stepping up as agents of change to build a future free from plastic pollution. We deserve and demand a planet with an abundance of life and not an abundance of plastic, and where the principles of environmental justice, social justice, public health, and human rights have led government policy, not the demands of the elites and the corporations. Through working together as one global youth movement while uplifting traditional marginalized voices, we know that the impact we make on a local level will contribute to local system change. We are committing ourselves to these strategic plans of actions. 1. Keep plastic producers responsible and pressure them to change their system of distribution through campaign activities such as brand audits. 2. Educate the youth, our communities and networks as we shift the narrative toward real solutions to the plastic pollution crisis. Expose the false solutions and highlight the strong connections between plastic pollution, human health impacts, and climate change. 3. Actively engage stakeholders in our schools, universities, communities, cities, and country in promoting and implementing zero-waste solutions and alternative systems. 4. Contribute to local and international forums and ensure that the world leaders are kept accountable as they negotiate about our future. 5. Grow the movement among young people and collaborate with other youth networks, educational institutions, and groups across the globe for coordinated Break Free from Plastic youth campaigns. And lastly, actively push and campaign for global, national, and local policy changes to ban single-use plastic. As we work and empower one another towards our goal, we recognize that the plastic and climate crisis are the most profound level are crises of alienation from each other, our environments, and the self. While the individual actions to reduce single-use plastics are important, systemic change and institutional change is needed to achieve true and lasting solutions to the plastic pollution crisis. As we take action, we take charge of our future. So together, we are creating a just and plastic-free future. So this is our Youth Manifesto. And I'd like to thank you for this space to share it a little bit of my work and the work of the movement. And feel free to leave the questions for us to respond in the Q&A. Thank you so much, everybody.